the most evident one is the fact that you guys put food on our table, and we truly respect and appreciate that. And the second reason, and this is where I'm kind of getting to the core of the question, is because we really believe that you guys are more artistically more savvy and sophisticated audience. And what I mean by that is there's a significant segment of the gaming population, especially, young ones who, don't have very, very high standards when it comes to art. Actually, when it comes to art and sex. And what I mean by that is the way they think of it. If it's when it's good, it's great, and when it's bad, it's still pretty good. Yeah, well, we don't want to think of art in those terms. So we really take it seriously, and truly want to deliver to a sophisticated audience with high expectations. Well, that being said, I'll get more specific about our philosophy. The biggest challenge when it comes to positioning the product from an artistic standpoint is to find that sweet spot, between realism and stylization with a really high level of abstraction. Obviously, the more stylized you go, the more abstract you go, you really narrow your audience a lot. On the other end of the spectrum, if you aim for realism, you can't really distinguish yourself. You blend in and don't stand out. So finding that ideal sweet spot in this range is the biggest challenge.
So when you make this decision between the stylized and range, do you think about the longevity of the game as well, like how well it will stand the test of time, or?
Absolutely. So longevity is one of the criteria that we have to keep in mind. A game of this genre is expected to have a longer life, to be able to withstand the test of time. 5-6 years down the road, it should still look pretty fresh and relevant, as opposed to, say, a sports game that goes through annual iterations. So because of that, the style has to have longevity. It also has to have accessibility, and I spoke about that, and also sustainability in terms of choosing a style that a large art team can understand and learn and assimilate and deliver on. If the style becomes too abstract or too weird, so to speak, and the art team doesn't truly live and breathe it, then you're in a great deal of trouble as far as delivering. So sustainability is another criterion that is important to us.
So I know that some people might be really interested in this, so it's a little bit more into the technical aspect, but what is the process of how long does it take and what iterations goes it through to actually create a real piece of art? So how long does it take you from the concept stage to actually put the stuff into the game?
Well, it varies. It truly, can you hear me all right? Can you guys hear me all right? Okay, cool. So the question was, how long does it take from for a concept piece to become implemented in the game? And it varies a great deal. Actually generating a piece of concept art in itself doesn't take all that long, maybe, you know, a day or two, and from that point on, oftentimes it just, you know, gets checked into a massive folder with ideas that are waiting their turn to be implemented. And some other times it gets to the production line right away, and you can have, you know, something concepted in the morning and see it already prototyped, at least in a preliminary form, by the end of the day. So it varies a great deal, but I'd say, you know, to polish a piece of artwork and actually to see the in-game asset in its full glories probably takes a week or two, depending on the complexity of that asset.
So we ask our fans on Twitter as well to send in questions. I have two here. One is from Twitter user JPG Neves, and he asks, what's the biggest challenge for creating art that can be faithfully reproduced in a video game?
Yeah, I guess this kind of touches a little bit on what I've already covered as far as, you know, how do you think about creating in-game art? And again, it goes back to stylistic positioning and what it is you're trying to accomplish. And another important factor, so I don't repeat myself too much, is making sure that the idea has substance from an you know, content standpoint, but it also carries an emotional charge that the audience will resonate with. So after all, we look at it as an entertainment product. It has to trigger an emotional response in our audience. Otherwise, it doesn't really qualify as entertainment. So making sure that that emotional charge is in there, is contained, and that the artists who concept and who produce those assets pour their soul and heart into it, and making sure that their passion for their job comes through in the final product.
Okay, I see people are actually eager to get their hands on the art book and get it signed by you. So one last question. We also got it from Twitter. User Andrew Kane, he was asking, what are a few sources for inspiration in your development? So where do you pull your inspiration for your art from?
Yeah, I get this question quite a bit, and you know, the way I look at inspiration is somewhat different. I try to just accumulate and absorb as much as I can, looking around myself, doing research, reading, and just kind of soak it all in, and then just kind of shove it to the back of my mind and let it sit there and just sort of over time become this primordial soup, if you will, of ideas, and then kind of distill the fumes of that soup, if you want, and into hopefully original ideas. So I couldn't really point at one source over another. I'm just, very aware of what's out there and try to blend it all into my own artistic vision.
And the result is always an absolutely amazing and stunning piece of art. Okay, I switch back to German now. Wir fangen jetzt an mit ich gebe die Bücher hier vorne aus und Daniel wird sie euch dann unterschreiben. Bitte, nicht schubsen, nicht drängen. Wir wollen, dass sich keiner hier verletzt, ja. Also passt aufeinander auf. Ich meine, wir sind ja alle Freunde. Versucht hier nicht irgendwie das Tier rauszulassen. Okay, Daniel, got your pen ready?
Sure.
Okay, then I guess we can make some people happy.
Let's go.